Hello everyone, thanks for joining us in TommieMedia's The Locker Room. I'm Taylor Shupe. The regular season conference title is up for grabs this weekend when the St. Thomas men's basketball team, which is tied with St. John's, takes the home court Saturday against St. Mary's. For the 10th game this season, sophomore guard Anders Nelson was perfect from the free throw line Wednesday night against St. Olaf. Senior forward Elijah Hanna scored 13 points against the Olies, boosting his season scoring average to nearly 12 points per game. I'm joined this week by Coach John Tower, Anders Nelson, and Elijah Hanna. Thank you guys so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
All right, Coach, first with you. So you guys have had no margin for error this season, and you had to beat St. John's last weekend to even have a shot at the regular season title. What gives the team the ability to keep winning these big games?
Well, I think first and foremost, our guys, they're talented and unselfish, but I also think they enjoy playing in those games. It really, the last week, we were at Bethel, at St. John's, at St. Olaf, and each of those 3 games I thought presented a unique challenge. And one of the things these guys have been great at, we've got a lot of veterans and guys who have been through battles against top teams in the country. I think they look at each game and they recognize its importance. So it doesn't matter if we're playing Bethel, St. John's, St. Olaf, or St. Mary's on Saturday. They realize each of those games is equally important, and there's a certain level of maturity with them that it makes it a lot of fun to coach, because you don't have to spend a lot of time getting them focused. It's more about tactically, what are we trying to do? They love playing with each other. They're really, really passionate, and so it's been a blast coaching them this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and obviously winning Saturday is important, but what will your final regular season record have to say about the conference tournament and the NCAA postseason?
Yeah, there's a lot at stake, both getting a share of the conference title, which would be our 14th title in 15 years, which would be awesome. Chance to hopefully host some games in the conference tournament, and then certainly regional rankings, national tournament. Those are all things that are in front of us, but the reality is, 24 times this year we've done a good job of just being focused. And so, while in the back of our minds we may let ourselves think about those here and there, the reality is the only thing we're going to focus on for the next 48 hours is getting ready for a really good St. Mary's team who just qualified for the playoffs for the first time in a long time, and really well coached. They're talented and gave us a good game the first time. So I have no doubt we're going to be laser focused. It'll be senior day on Saturday, so it should be a really nice day to recognize Elijah, 3 other seniors, but also hopefully gain at least a share of the MIAC title.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. So, Anders, in Wednesday night's game against St. Olaf, the Tommies were down by 2 in the final 2 minutes. How did you guys get the game back in your control?
Well, actually, when we were down 2 with 2 minutes left, I remember huddling the guys up. Elijah was in there too, and I just looked at the guys and told them, we do situational stuff in practice every day, and we're used to being in situations like that. And with 2 minutes left, that's kind of what you live for, down 2, coming down, making plays, getting some big stops, and we were able to do that and come out with a big win on the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was huge. So Elijah, last Saturday was the first time that the senior class defeated the Johnnies in Collegeville. What was the feeling like beating them in their own arena?
It's always good to get a win against St. John's. They're a good team, so whether it's here or there, it's always fun. The atmosphere is always intense up there, so it just makes it a little bit better, but it's always nice to get a win no matter where it is.
Yeah, had to be fun. Okay, last question for Coach Tower. With the regular season ending this Saturday, focus will begin to shift to the postseason, like we talked about a little bit earlier. But last year, the Tommies didn't advance past the Sweet 16. How does the team plan to move further in the postseason this year?
Well, I think you always look at one of our goals each year is win a conference title. One of them is make the national tournament. One's make the Final Four. One's win a national championship. And you're not going to accomplish those every year. But what I do feel really confident about is these guys know, if you look at last year, we went on the road and beat Nebraska Wesleyan, who was #1 in the country in the second round of the tournament, playing in those kind of games. The game at St. John's the other day. These guys have seen, the best in the country, and I don't think they're going to be fazed by anything. Now, a lot of things have to go right to win a national championship, and so we don't look at it like that. We really do. It sounds cliche, but we really look at it even in the postseason like keep getting better week after week, because the team that ends up winning a national championship is the one that over the next month keeps improving. There's lots of great teams in the country. There are probably 30 of them that could win a national title. So it's going to be a confluence of a lot of things, from making big plays, people trusting one another, performing under pressure, staying healthy, and only certain things we can control along those lines. But these guys have as I said earlier, they're a veteran crew who's very focused, and I think they trust each other a lot. So one game at a time. As much as that's not going to give you the sound bite that you want, that's what we do, as boring as it may be.
No, but it's exciting. We're excited to see where you guys go in that postseason. So thank you guys so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Be sure to check TommieMedia.com this Saturday for full coverage when the Tommies host St. Mary's. With Coach Tower, Elijah Hanna, and Honors Nelson, I'm Taylor Shupe. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time in The Locker Room.